Paltz. I'm Josina Campbell.
And I'm Emma Phillips. Here are today's top stories.
In international news, police in Mexico City have issued a warning about a new type of ransomware virus that can take over computers, cameras, and make the user think they are under surveillance. The Mexico City Police Department Cybercrime Unit says the virus infects computers generally after they view or download sexually explicit material. Police say a message appears on the screen from a supposed police agency saying the user must pay a fine via electronic transfer.
An Al-Qaeda-inspired group in Egypt has posted a video online showing a suicide bomber attacking a security headquarters in Mansoura that killed 16 people in December. The video by Ansar Bey al-Makadis, or the Champions of Jerusalem, identified the suicide bomber as Imam Mahfouz or Abu Maryam. It said that he was injured in Islamist demonstrations against the ouster of Islamist President Mohamed Morsi by the military.
Pope Francis has met with 4 women who were forced into prostitution as he denounced human trafficking as a crime against humanity. Francis left the Vatican on Thursday to attend a conference of church workers, charity representatives, and police chiefs from 20 nations who pledged greater cooperation to encourage victims of trafficking and slavery to come forward. Francis told the conference that trafficking is an opening wound on the body of contemporary society. He met privately with 4 freed sex slaves from his native Argentina, Chile, Hungary, and the Czech Republic.
In national news, the attorney for a 16-year-old charged in yesterday's stabbing rampage at a Pittsburgh area high school says he wants to have a mental health expert evaluate the boy. In an interview with ABC's Good Morning America, the defense attorney also says he's hoping to move the criminal charges against Alex Reibel to juvenile court. For now, he's charged as an adult with attempted homicide, aggravated assault, and a weapons charge. 22 people were injured in the attack at Franklin Regional High School.
1 child is still in critical condition in an Orlando, Florida hospital following yesterday's crash in which a convertible crashed through a daycare center in Winter Park. 1 child was killed and most of the 14 people injured were children. Now authorities are looking for a man they say was driving an SUV that struck the convertible, causing it to jump a curb and smash into the building. Authorities say 26-year-old Robert Alex Corchado has been arrested 8 times since 2000.
2 engineers at General Motors have been suspended with pay in the company's first disciplinary action linked to the delayed recall of more than 2 million small cars with a faulty ignition switch. GM says the move was made after a briefing from a former federal prosecutor who's been hired by GM to figure out why it took more than a decade to recall the cars. GM says at least 13 people have died in crashes connected to the defective switch. Stay tuned for entertainment news.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I'm Dominique DiBartolo. This week in entertainment news. When Stephen Colbert takes over next year for David Letterman on CBS, he won't be doing the same character who's hosted The Colbert Report on Comedy Central since 2005. He's retiring that fictional conservative talk show host and will be hosting The Late Show as himself, whoever that might be. Letterman announced on his show last week that he would retire sometime next year, although he hasn't set a date. Prosecutors have charged a man with felony stalking after he was arrested outside of singer-actress Selena Gomez's home twice in 1 week. Che Cruz is due to appear in a Los Angeles courtroom for an initial court appearance Monday. He also faces a misdemeanor charge of violating a court order for returning to Gomez's home Friday, just hours after his release from jail on a trespassing case. Finally, Aerosmith's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry have recorded a new arrangement of Dream On to honor victims of the Boston Marathon bombings. The rockers are accompanied by the Southern California Children's Chorus in the video of their signature hit. Aerosmith had performed Dream On during the Boston Strong concert benefit last May. Stay tuned for local news.
Hey, you going out like that?
Yeah, why?
Well, what would the neighbors think?
I see you! Come look at Mr. Feather. Look what I have. Mr. Bird, remember? Bark, bark, bark. We're just playing. We're just playing. I'm trying to get you out of here.
Even still.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I'm Emma Phillips. This week in local news, Alpha Phi Alpha held the Miss Black and Gold pageant. 4 girls were chosen to take part in the pageant. Each girl had to take part in an introduction dance, a bathing suit scene, a talent piece, a formal scene, plus a general question. There were 3 judges and a packed crowd. Let's take a look. Here we are outside the multi-purpose room to witness the Alpha Phi Alpha pageant in order to find Miss Black and Gold. December 4th, 1906, Alpha Phi Alpha became the first African American fraternity. Today we'll be interviewing a few of the contestants and see who will win the honor title and the position to represent Alpha Phi Alpha as their Miss Black and Gold. Now, what is this pageant particularly about?
Well, there are 4 girls that are competing to be Miss Black and Gold. There will be 1 Miss Black and Gold, a Miss Black, and Miss Gold. And we're each just going to show our personality and just basically what a typical pageant is like.
To me, I believe this pageant is about exhibiting the strengths of a woman, because sometimes a woman's strengths are gone on scene, and through this pageant, I believe it can be exhibited to everybody who comes, and hopefully other people hear about it.
What would it mean to you to be Miss Black and Gold?
It would mean to me that I showed a lot of hard work and I showed a lot of dedication, which I did. And it would also prove to me that, I met their standards of what it means to represent Miss Black and Gold, and also just doing what they expected me to do.
I think it would mean a lot to me because I really went out my comfort zone to do this pageant, because usually I feel like I'm a very shy person, but I really put myself out there because I thought it was about time, because when you get older, they're not going to care about your shyness or whatever. You have to step out your comfort zone. So to win Miss Black and Gold is going to give me a sense of insurance that I can step out my comfort zone and be comfortable doing it and be beautiful while doing it. But if it doesn't happen, it's okay, because I still did it. I still put in the work, and I'm still proud of myself to be here today.
And there you have it. Best of luck to all the ladies, and to the future Miss Black and Gold, best of luck on your future endeavors. Hope you represent New Paltz and make us proud. Back to you guys. Congratulations to the winner of Miss Black and Gold, Mariah Brown, and her runner-up, NPC-TV's own Josina Campbell. Next, in this week's news, gender-inclusive housing, or as it was formerly known, gender-neutral housing, is being introduced to New Paltz campus. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Dominique DiBartolo. With housing arrangements just around the corner, gender-inclusive housing seems to be on everybody's minds. Let's take a look at what students think. Have you lived in a gender-inclusive suite or room?
Yeah, I lived in a gender-neutral suite 2 semesters ago.
Yes, I do.
Which hall do you live in?
We live in Bevier Hall.
Lefevre Hall.
How many people are in your suite, including boys and girls?
There's 8 people in total. 6 of them are guys, and the other 2 are girls.
There are 8 people, 6 girls and 2 boys.
Would you consider gender-inclusive housing?
Yeah, I would. I had a friend actually who asked me if I wanted to live in a gender-inclusive housing unit, and it appealed to me to live with both guys and girls, and I was comfortable with it.
Yes, I would.
Why?
Because I feel comfortable around the opposite sex, and if we establish rules, then we should be fine. I don't see why we would not be able to handle being in the same room in the same time.
Are there any negatives to living with people of the opposite sex?
Not really. I mean, at first it was just I was just a little nervous about the whole bathroom situation, but it actually turned out fine. Everyone had their own times to shower and stuff like that. So we had it all figured out, and it wasn't bad.
Not really, because we are all pretty good friends, so we get along pretty well. The only thing I'd say is the guys tend to be a little more messy, and they're okay with being a little messy, but the girls will want to clean it up, and they'll tend to get mad at us if we don't do that. So,
what are the positives of living with people of the opposite sex?
It was just a lot of fun, living with all your friends, and it was so much fun. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
So with housing arrangements coming up, you can always consider gender-inclusive housing. Back to you guys.
Finally, we spoke to prospective New Paltz students on their opinions about construction on campus. Let's see what they had to say.
Hello, I'm Josina Campbell, and I'm here in the Student Union Building talking to prospective students and current students about the campus, what made them come here, and also the construction that is going on. Let's take a look. So, what brought you here to SUNY New Paltz?
I would say mostly my high school teachers because many of them came here and I'm an education major, so a lot of them recommended SUNY New Paltz for education.
Well, I got accepted to SUNY New Paltz and I was excited to come over here, so, you know. And I like this campus.
I'm really interested in art and music, and I know that this school is very artsy. It's not too big, and I guess it's not too small, so that's why. Also, it's relatively closer compared to other SUNY schools.
Right. Well, originally what brought me here to SUNY New Paltz was that before I came here, I found out a lot about the diversity on campus as far as like EOP, SMP, the things that they were doing with like the Latin American Student Union and like BSU. So like that really drove me here because I've always been like an advocate like in my high school and like where I'm from for like other people's rights. So that's like one thing that really motivated me to come here.
And what did you think of the campus?
I like the campus. It's very like peaceful. I like my favorite building is the old main building because it's just so pretty.
I thought there wasn't enough color, to be honest, because most of the buildings are all one color. That kind of made me, gave me a negative view of it. But the construction as well was something that was kind of made me iffy. But otherwise, I think it's a very beautiful campus. All the green, the trees, and it's around a lot of nice places. So yeah.
And do you feel like the construction that's going on campus is taking away from the beauty of the campus?
Yes, I do. But they have to do what they have to do because it's going to be beautiful later on. So, yeah.
And there you have it. Hopefully the construction doesn't drive too many students away. Back to you guys. That's all for this week. I'm Josina Campbell.
And I'm Emma Phillips. Thanks for tuning in.